Hi guys, thanks so much for joining Bernwalt TV again tonight. What if failure did not break your kids? What if failure did not break your kids but actually made them stronger? Thanks so much again for joining me tonight for session 2 of our 6-week series on building confidence and resiliency in children. I'm Judy from Bernwald TV, and my goal is to bring knowledge, bring information to this community to help us all grow and learn. If that's your vibe, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and keep on watching. So, today we will talk about resilience. That is a skill that helps our children just bounce back from difficult situations. And not just children, adults, but in this case, we're talking about kids. So, failure isn't the problem. When we talk about resilience, we're not talking about resilience because of the failure parts. We're not. We're talking about how we respond when our children fail. I know that's something that is very difficult for even me to work through. So I hope to give you some tips tonight on how we can better serve and provide guidance to our kids when they fail. Because it's going to happen. If they try, they will fail eventually, inevitably. We fail, we learn, we grow. So failure isn't the problem. It's just what we do and how we respond and what we say when our kids fail. So, your child fails a science exam. Instead of, what do you say? I know for me, I've said multiple things. I've said, what happened? Why did you fail? How did you let that happen? Why didn't you study? Why didn't you do your homework? Why didn't you ask for questions? Why didn't you take better notes? Why? But instead of asking why you failed, what we should be asking is what did you learn from that failure, right? It's kind of hard for us as parents to not just focus on the skills or what caused it to happen, but and miss the learning opportunity from the failure. It's really hard because we want our kids to do really well. We want them to feel good all the time about themselves, but we have to recognize that failure is a learning opportunity just as any, and we need to ask them what they learned. What did you learn from this failure? It's normal to fail. We all encounter this as adults. We've encountered it a lot more than our children have. So we need to normalize that things will happen. But why it happened and what we learn from it are two different things. Questioning over and over and over again why it happened is not very helpful because why it happened is easy. Oftentimes it's easy. They didn't study long enough. We can identify why. And so when we talk about what you learn from failing, hopefully if your child is old enough, they can verbalize to you, well, I learned that if I don't study, I'm going to not do well. I learned that this teacher had a lot of questions on this one subject that we really didn't go over that much in school. What does that tell you? Well, you can't go by what went over in school. You probably need to do a lot more work at home, right? So, what did you learn from that failure? We need to normalize that. Struggle does happen, but we need to learn from it too. And then we need to take steps in our learning to help that from happening again. We need to also normalize in our own conversations when we are at home on our own life. We need to normalize saying things like, oh, that didn't work. I made a mistake. Oh no, I was wrong. Oh, I'm going to have to try it this way. Oh, I thought I could mix this together with this and this would happen. Oh, the cake deflated. I don't know how many of you cake just did not rise. The cake did not rise, right? Oh no, I have to redo the recipe. Um, oh no, I did not put the nail in the hook tight enough, or whatever. We need to normalize saying those things out loud so our children recognize the fact that it's okay to fail. It's okay. It's okay to fail, and we're going to keep trying, and we're going to try again. So when a child messes up, or they lose the game, or they're struggling, just take a pause. Take a pause and guide them. I mentioned that in the last video, in our first video of the series. If you did not catch that video, it will be linked below as well. But in that video, we talk about not jumping in right away. And as a matter of fact, that was our call to action, taking a pause, giving them a little bit more time to try and figure it out without us jumping in. So we're going to guide our children and not jump in to rescue them. We're not talking about emergency situations. Let's be real. We're not talking about life and death or serious situations when you do have to literally hop in and rescue. We're talking about life activities where there are learning opportunities where your child can learn and grow. So, for this week, your call to action this week is to practice what we call fail forward, right? After every mistake, ask the question, what is the lesson? Ask what is the lesson, what it is that you learned from that mistake. So we're going to practice that. I know I am. I'm going to practice that too. And I hope you practice along with me. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.